I'm Pete Wright.
And I'm Andy Nelson.
Welcome to the next reel. When the movie ends,
our conversation begins.
The shooting is over. Your brain's gonna fry out here.
In the suspense-filled tradition of High Noon, Jack H. Harris presents The Shooting, starring Jack Nicholson. Violent, sadistic, merciless, more exciting than An Easy Rider and 5 Easy Pieces. Co-starring Millie Perkins in her first major role since Diary of Anne Frank. Will Hutchins. Warren Oates as Willard Gashade.
You want to ride with me, boy? Okay. How'd you like the way I done Leland drum? Like I say, I'll blow it off the first word out. Go sit down over there.
Unequaled climax, which we urge you not to reveal.
Your brain's gonna fry out here, you know that?
The Shooting, rated G for all ages.
Okay, had you seen The Shooting?
No, I had not seen The Shooting. In fact, when it comes to Monte Hellman's films, I am very light on what he's done. I'm trying to remember if I've actually, I think I know about Monte Hellman more than I have actually seen much of Monte Hellman. Like Two Lane Blacktop is the one that I always hear people talking about. And then Cockfighter, China 9, Liberty 37. And these two I hear about maybe a little less. And then, funny enough, the other one I hear people talking about is the fact that Monte Hellman would go on to direct Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, Better Watch Out.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Well, and he he was EP on Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah,
that's
right.
nice. Well, he shepherded a movie I love to life. So I think I am also in. I have a Monte Hellman blind spot for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Monte Hellman. So let's just say we're maybe novices, Hellman novices. What did you think of this movie? And is it fair of me to ask you to go first?
No, it's fine. Well, and also, to the point, this film was shot back to back. This is part of our Roger Corman series that we're examining Corman's filmography in different aspects over the entire 14th season. So 12 episodes. This is our second one, and we decided we were going to do Westerns. And two of the Westerns that Corman produced were these films, The Shooting and Ride in the Whirlwind, directed by Monte Hellman. And what's interesting about these
Wait, so they're both directed by Monte Hellman?
They're both directed by Monte Hellman. And what was interesting about it is, it totally fits in line with Roger Corman when, I guess the way the story went. So I'm just going to back up for a sec. In the earlier 60s, Monte Hellman and Jack Nicholson, they made two films together. They shot them back-to-back in the Philippines, Backdoor to Hell and Flight to Fury. They after they finished these, they made another film, or they wrote a script for another film called Epitaph, and they gave it to Roger Corman, wanting him to produce it. He didn't like it, and he said, "Would you do a Western instead?" And they said, "Sure." And then he said, tell you what, why don't you do two Westerns and shoot them back to back, just like you just did in the Philippines? And you can have 3 weeks for each. So 6-week period of time, you'll shoot two films back to back. And they said, okay, sounds like a deal. So these two films were shot back to back in 1965 in Utah. And that was kind of the way that the whole thing was set up, as this plan to make these two films. And so, I knowing we were walking into this conversation about The Shooting, I also wanted to watch Ride in the Whirlwind just to kind of get a sense of what Monte Hellman and Jack Nicholson were doing as far as the types of Westerns they were crafting that Corman was putting out there. And it was interesting to kind of check it out. They're both very fatalist, kind of existential stories. They don't feel like what you're going to get out of the spaghetti Westerns or any of the other types of Bud Boetticher Westerns from Hollywood, or even John Ford. This is just kind of it fits in what you would see Nicholson moving into in the early 70s with some of the films there, that when he'd start working with Bob Rafelson and kind of like very independent 70s cinema. And I think this film fits right into that. It's an interesting, dark look at this man who, in days past had kind of been a tracker, but now he's just working as a miner. He's hired by this woman to track somebody, and then they're subsequently also being tracked by this gunslinger wearing black. And it's this story of their journey to find this person, and builds to an ending that I think was inevitable, but it worked very well for me. So I enjoyed both of these quite a bit. Very different from other types of Westerns that you're perhaps more used to watching, but they both work well. And I think as a pairing, they both definitely have some similar vibes and themes.
Well, let's dig into it a little bit and see if at the end of this conversation you would recommend the second film, because I did not watch it, and I'll tell you, after watching this film, it'd be a tough sell. This was excruciating. It was an absolutely excruciating and watch. It took forever. I could not. It was the longest hour and 20 minutes. That I've spent in a while, and we've had a couple that have been tough lately. I did revisit the glossary, an extra glossary. You'll be excited to know. And when I tell you the term Casablanca movie, does that mean anything to you vis-a-vis me?
Oh, yes. Anytime that you say, if I thought about it enough, or like I probably, whatever the saying is that Claude Rains has. That's all in the definition. I have put it on the website for Casablanca movie. Noun, allusion to the 1942 film Casablanca, specifically the exchange between Rick and Ugarte. You despise me, don't you? If I gave you any thought, I probably would. Colloquial, a film considered to be of such quality or unimportance as to be unworthy of serious critical attention or emotional engagement, often eliciting indifference rather than active dislike. All right, listen up, you cinematic gunslingers. It's Andy, and I'm here to interrupt your regular programming with the proposition that'll make your spurs jingle. What you just heard was a tantalizing glimpse of our wild ride through Monte Hellman's The Shooting, but I'm afraid that's all you're going to get. There's a whole frontier of bonus content out there waiting to be explored, and the only way to saddle up and join this posse is by becoming a member. Picture this, a vast untamed wilderness of exclusive episodes stretching out before you like the desert itself. As a member, you'll have the keys to this celluloid kingdom, and boy, is it a trip. Every month, you'll get to sink your teeth into a brand new bonus episode, each one a gritty, unfiltered journey into the heart of cinema. You'll also have ad-free access to our entire library, so you can wander through our back catalogs like a lone rider traversing the Badlands. And if that wasn't enough, we've got pre-show and post-show chats that'll make you feel like you're right there at the campfire with us, swapping stories and sipping on some rot gut whiskey. But here's where things get really wild. As a member, you'll have the power to call the shots. You'll get to vote on the films we discuss, ensuring that our bonus episodes are always tailored to your taste. It's like having your own personal gang of cinema outlaws ready to rustle up the perfect movie discussion just for you. And if you're fixing to jaw with some fellow film buffs, our Discord community is the place to be. It's like a virtual saloon where cinephiles can gather to swap tales, share insights, and maybe even plan a few celluloid heists of their own. Just remember, check your 6-shooter at the door. So why be a mere spectator when you could be riding with the big dogs? Mosey on over to truestory.fm/join and sign up today. It's just $5 a month or $55 for a whole year. That's a small price to pay for a first-class ticket to Cinema Paradise. And that, my friends, is where we'll have to leave you for now. If you want to hear the full, uncut version of our wild ride through The Shooting, you know what to do. Join the posse, become a member, and let's ride off into the celluloid sunset together. Trust me, it's a journey you won't soon forget. Until then, happy trails, partner.